Hey everybody, Gisele Grenier here. I just finished a sneezing fit, so I apologize if I have a bit of the sniffles. In today's video, it's not really a project, but I needed to use some alcohol ink for a piece I was doing, and I didn't have the right color. And I knew that, I can go out and buy more alcohol ink, which I didn't want to do. And then went onto YouTube and I did some searching about DIY alcohol ink, and a lot of them were related to using Sharpie markers, which I have some Sharpie markers, but they're all black. But I do have Prismacolor markers, so I thought I would try with these. It does require a little bit of elbow grease, moving around to take these apart. The only one thing that two things, because it's messy. I don't like the idea of the alcohol being so exposed. So if you have sensitivities to alcohol, not this kind, but the rubbing kind, is maybe put a mask on. So what I did is I took the marker apart, and I had a glass and a little funnel to hold everything, and I took the marker apart. And it comes out apart, well, other than the cap, it was in these pieces. So there was this piece, that piece, and that piece. Okay? Green. So you take it apart, and wear gloves. And it took me a bit to kind of figure it out. What I did was I put everything into a glass, but I kind of suspended this, and I just used tape, and this is for the blue, and basically just use tape, elastic, just kind of hold it. And what I did is then I just took the rubbing alcohol and just dripped it with an eyedropper through here, and it pulled everything out. It literally cleaned everything out. And the only thing that with this, and I'm sure there's other ways, I mean, you can't blow to force everything because it's toxic. It kind of diluted everything. So the idea is, and then I would do this in a well-ventilated room or next to a window that has a little bit of a opening, is to leave it open so the alcohol will start to evaporate, which will enhance the concentration of the amount of pigment in your mixture. So let me move this aside. So what I did is the blue, I can't find the cap, but it's dark green. PB31, let's see, it's just the Prismacolor Premier. Oh, I need to do a call out. And I'm looking in the camera and I'm just my fingers. So I'm calling out to the husbands, the wives, anybody who does woodworking that work with a belt sander. Do you have a recommendation for gloves or something to put in your hands to prevent that? I scraped the entire front part of my skin on the belt sander because I was holding a piece of resin that was quite thin. Please don't suggest a Dremel or a flex shaft, because it didn't work for what I want to do. I wanted it completely flat. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below, because I could use your help on that. Okay, back to our regular scheduled programming. So with the green, just to show you, I got another sneeze coming. So I put it in these little bottles, and I picked these up at the dollar store, Dollarama, which, by the way, Joe was saying yesterday, they're launching online shopping. How good is that? And I did some spraying just on plain paper. This is just sketchbook paper from Royal Brush. It's the white canvas cover sketchbook paper. And I just did some spraying. You can see it went right through, so it's quite heavy on the pigment. I dipped some of the Grip Tools cotton swabs in it, and I kind of went around to see how well it would hold the shape. And it did hold the shape. It only spread out just a little bit. And let me just go here. Let me just do the blue. Now, again, there's rubbing alcohol in that. So, and the alcohol I was using was 91%. So I kind of like the mist that's there. Smelling just The actual smell that I'm smelling is the same smell, the intensity of the smell is if you're getting your ears pierced or about to get a shot, but it's lasting a little bit longer. But you can see how it kind of fades out. So by evaporating this a little bit more, it would enhance the concentration. So what I also want to do is just to show you the opacity. Let me do 2. I mean, it gets, I can go pretty high on that, but it looks like an airbrushed effect. See, now I can smell that. This is going to be a short video. And let me do the green. The green is a little bit stronger. Let's see how far that can go. I mean, it absorbs in the paper. Really nice. And it's unprimed paper. And I can also, and then overlap. And the blue is ultramarine blue. So you get all these nice geometric shapes. Yeah, so it's ultramarine blue, and the green is dark green, which is PB31, which I don't think is the actual, I can't believe that's a pigment number because there would have to be some yellow in this. So I think it's just a product number. Yeah, it might be just a product number because the black is PB98. I was kind of hoping to actually see the true pigment that goes in here. It does say that the markers are non-toxic, but the idea of blowing on that to force the air through, don't do that. But anyway, so that's, I mean, it works out really well. I would just do this well-ventilated room. I mean, use proper health and safety. If you're going to do a lot, see, the smell's gone now. If you're going to do a lot of this, mask, not the N95 one, because that's for dust particles. You'd have to go with an actual one that's for fumes. Yeah, so it works out well. I'll turn over to see how far, I mean, that's how strong the pigment is. It went right through. It actually pulled the Lumicolor pigment through as well. So I don't know if this will help anybody. I know Annie was sent an email to Annie about, you know, if she uses alcohol ink, and so I thought I would do this video for those of you that like the idea of alcohol ink, but it's an expense to go out there and to do that. But then your time is also worth money, so vary that, you know, making it yourself versus buying it. I like the idea of making it myself because I can customize the colors as well. That I can really, with the spraying, I can use that in some of my my resin pieces versus using the drop, because I don't like the effect of the drop, the way that it blooms on some of the stuff. So I like the actual airbrushed effect, which is really nice. I do wish, though, that I could use the DecoArt Media Misters, because the concentration of pigment is so strong. They're ideal. Now, I don't know if they've changed the bottles, but the bottles, they clog after every use. It doesn't matter how much I turn them upside down to clean them, they always clog, and you end up wasting so much product when you turn it upside down to clean. But that's just the nature of the game. That's just, you know, that's just the way it is. So hopefully, and it's an acrylic product, which is why it clogs, but you know, there's no smell. There's no smell. Anyways, that's it, you guys. That's it for today. I'm going to prepare to try to do another project. My fingers are kind of sore, and if you have any of your own DIY alcohol ink recipes, please post them below. Also, if you're part of the community, which is also linked below, feel free to post your recipe there and post any pictures of alcohol ink projects that you've done with your DIY pieces, and so that way we can all learn from each other, because this alcohol ink, to make it yourself, it's actually more of a science. You know, to try to figure out the ratios and the type of alcohol, the type of inks, and all that stuff. So it'd be great to actually see the different recipes with the pieces that were made from them. All right, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you won't miss out on anything. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And again, feel free to ask questions, comments, and suggestions, and all that stuff. I read I try to read every single comment within 48 hours of the video being posted. Alrighty, so I'm going to go off and get myself into some trouble. Until I see you next time, stay inspired.